cool, they should be clear. 4 well.
Yeah, 2-3. When you see any movement in there.
Hi, my name is Daniel and you're watching the Rogue Clone Trooper channel. Today we're going to be giving some shout outs to some of my subscribers and people who've been helping me on my build. My first shout out goes out to my mum for this wonderful t-shirt that she got me for my birthday. Thank you so much. It is really cool. She got me another one as well, but this is really the best one, I think. I really like this one. Thank you so much, Mum, for my birthday present. Okay, I want to thank all my subscribers who've been subscribing to me recently. You know, without you guys subscribing, I can't keep doing these builds. So listen, thank you very much. Okay, and the way YouTube's gone at the moment, the more subscribers I have, the better this channel's going to get. Okay, so thanks for that. What I want to do now is read out some of the comments that you guys have been sending me, because I appreciate all the positive comments that you've been sending. First one goes out to Jackie AL. Yeah, Jackie AL. Okay, he says, got the same set from the same seller and no idea what I was doing. Can't thank you enough. You're welcome. That's the reason why I started doing this build. Everyone kind of hates fiberglass armor. And basically there is a reason behind that. One, it is quite heavy, and two, it is a pain to make, and when it arrives you're thinking, what is this in the box and how am I going to put this all together? And that's why I started doing these videos, and I hope they help you out in any way that I can. If you have any questions, you can always go to my Facebook page, Rogue Clone Trooper, and you can drop me a message there, and again I will try to help you out as best as I can. I can put photographs up and show you more details of what's going on with my armour. So yeah, thanks very much for that. Next one goes out to Prototype Naf. Where did you get the armour? I'm still looking for it. Man, I got it on eBay. Okay, it's a horrible place to get things these days, but yeah, there's a guy somewhere in, I think we're in Texas or something like that in America, who's throwing out these fiberglass suits. He usually puts them up on auction. That just tells you what the quality of these things are if he's just doing it on auction and seeing what he can get for them. And I have a funny feeling, don't quote me on this, that basically the more money you pay on your auction, the better suit you get, because the quality does not seem to be standard. So I think if you get it pretty cheap on your auction bid, that he's going to send you out a pretty shitty suit of armor. Now, don't quote me on that. I cannot say that for definite, but from what I've been noticing, the quality that coming out of this guy is hit and miss depending on what you get. As you've seen in some of my videos, I've got some of the same parts. You know, you have two right hands and two right legs and stuff like that, and really a nightmare. I've got different thighs from different suits. So yeah, just be careful when you're buying fiberglass stuff. Suits of any sort on eBay, you don't know what the quality is going to be. Okay, thanks for the help so much. I was trying to figure out which of the forearms, because they both seem to be right arms and point of the elbows seem to be curved out a straight point. This is from Travis Bully. Yeah, this is talking about the forearms. I found out that yeah, they were both either lefts or rights. They didn't seem to match, and they seem to be very pointed, sticking out the back. I hope you liked that forearm video. It was a really kind of strange video for me to make, because I thought I knew what I was doing and I had to keep changing it all the way through. In the end it did turn out fine, and those gauntlets work great now. I did have to trim them this end down to reshape them for my arm and make them work with the elbow pieces, so it's worked taping it all together, restrapping it, and then seeing how it works before you start cutting it down, and then cutting it down bit by bit, slowly by slowly, until you get it to the perfect part that you want. Okay, always better go to by little than take a big chunk off and find that you're taking too much. Okay, and I'm glad I could help you out on that. as regards to the keypad that I put onto the right arm, I got that from a wonderful guy in Germany who's making them. You should always try to join the Clone Trooper website on Facebook if you are going to build any Clone Trooper armor. The guys there are really cool. I'll be honest, a lot of them, and probably even myself now, would suddenly shoot you straight over to the 501st Clone Trooper detachment website and say, listen, join up there, because there's actually hundreds more people who are building their stuff, and especially the makers of different parts advertise there a lot as well, so you can get some of the stuff there to help make the suit a bit better, and that's one of the reasons why they do that. Okay, let's see, next shout out goes out. Okay, very good friend of mine is Mark Tiss. Mark Tiss is an awesome guy in the States who makes different videos. He's mad about the clones. He's also mad about scuba diving and a few other things. If you don't know who he is, go and do a search on Facebook and on YouTube for Mark Tiss. Okay, and you'll find he's got a few different channels, and you're gonna find something you really like with him. Okay, but do check him out. He's a really cool guy doing some really great stuff. Okay, this is from Dark Apocalypse X. Your armor is awesome, but your tummy needs work, sir. Yeah, he was talking about a video that I did on my original suit that I made, and when I was altering it from the terrible first clone suit that I made into midway one, and I was trying to do things with the tummy plate because my tummy plate had cracked on it, and I had tried to make the suit into type of, I don't know, an alternative clone suit with modified armor, and I was doing this modified tummy piece. Yeah, I got rid of that, mate. It didn't work. I had rubberized mats, which I had done a kind of like a cummerband, and then put the straight plate piece in the front. It was pretty cool, nice to move in, but actually you end up sweating like anything around the midsection. So yeah, I got rid of that pretty soon and remade a whole new centerpiece for it. So thanks for that, mate. He said he went out and he bought. He said he bought 3 sets of the fiberglass armor because you can't. What's it say? It's not nice not being without friends. Yeah, I hope your suits have turned out, mate. I really do. Yeah, he also talked about trying to do a steel plate layer behind the fiberglass and chipping away to expose the silver. That's a pretty cool idea. It can be a bit dangerous because your fiberglass can shatter on you, so do be careful of that. Also, if you're trying to get this approved by the 501st at some point, or even the Rebel Legion, metal showing through is, I found out, not acceptable. So you're going to have to stick with white paint chips and black underpieces for the battle damage guys. Okay. Let's see who else we're going to have a good shout out to. Okay, I'm going to try to pronounce this. Comrade Matt. So, yeah, Comrade Matt. Man, I do love the Phase 1 armor. People seem to be drawn to the Phase 2, but Phase 1 is my favourite. Yeah, me too. And the funny thing is that the difference between Phase 1 technically and Phase 2 is just the helmet. I know if you go into the lore behind the suits that Phase 2 is supposed to be a lot lighter and a lot more movable for the troopers than Phase 1, but technically in the design there is no difference except for the helmet. So if you wanted to, you could get your 1 set of armor, get 2 helmets, and you can interchange between the 2 of them. Now I can't do that because I've gone for the Sergeant clone trooper, and that was only in Phase 1. There is sergeants in Phase 2, but they don't have the coloured stripes. By that time the different battalions of batteries had started to doing their own paint design, so you were known by your unit, not by your rank. And if I'm not mistaken, that's where the ranking on the earpieces started, was actually in a Phase 2 clone armor, but that's only a rumour that I've heard, so I don't have any proof about that. We got another shout out to Jacob TV1. Are these fiberglass kits worth buying? I've built a Stormtrooper set from a kit off eBay and want to move to be a clone trooper, but it's literally twice the price from a TK kit. I'd definitely be willing to put down that money if it was more affordable route to go. Listen, to be honest with you, fiberglass kits are they're a nice hobby challenge to put together, but I'll be honest with you, if I was going to do this all over again and I wasn't living in Japan, then definitely I would have gone to KW Designs or the Imperial Supplies, I think they're called KW anyway, Designs as well. They do clone suits made out of ABS plastic. They're a bit more pricey, but in the long run you get everything that you need in the kit. You get the helmet, you get all the compound, the belt, the whole kit for the price, and they're easier to put together. And that's where a lot of people say stay away from the fiberglass and go straight for the ABS plastic kits, because they're quicker to build and less hassle. Now the reason why I went for the fiberglass, and I've said this many times, is because the weather here in Japan is either 35 to 37 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer with 100% humidity to -4 in the winter, and very dry weather, and that type of drops in temperature and rises in temperature is terrible on ABS plastic. It dries it out and makes it very brittle and breaks in no time. And I know some stormtroopers here who have their kits and they're just cracking and falling apart way quicker than any of the places in Europe would do, and that's the reason why I went for the fiberglass. I'm not going to wear the kit that often, and I want it to last for when I do, and I got to store it in my storeroom in my attic, and basically that gets freezing in the winter and roasting in the summer, and already certain pieces that I have made of ABS plastic have just started cracking, and paint started cracking on them where they've been expanding and contracting all the time. So I thought with the fiberglass it would last a little longer for me. Yeah, it's been a pain to build it, and I still haven't finished it, and it's been a pain trying to get the extra parts to get it to go on, and it is heavy to wear, but it is still fun, and that's why I'm doing it. So yeah, try not to go for fiberglass, and try to again buy from a reputable dealer. Again, pop over to the 501st web pages, especially the clone page, and look at the dealers there. Okay guys, you might even get somebody who's selling their kits second hand. There's a lot of places on Facebook now that a lot of the 501st guys are selling their stuff even on Facebook through certain groups, so do look out there as well. Okay, let's see, do I have any more good shout outs to give to the guys? This is from a guy who calls himself Anakin Skywalker. Dude, awesome. I'm making a CT armor from scratch using Peikaku files. That's the paper. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but that's the paper files that you can print off from the internet. I have a Clone One helmet, and I want to make the armor to match. Biggest issue is the belt size. He was asking me, could I do mine? Listen, my belts at the moment, I'm been making them myself from pouches that I can find from anywhere. Some of the pouches I've used are actually cigarette boxes that you can buy here in Japan, plastic cigarette boxes, and then painting them and adding greebles onto the outside of them. So I don't know the proper measurements, I'm afraid, so I couldn't help him out with that one, and I'm still trying to get my hands on a proper clone belt. That's another issue which we'll go into in another video. Okay, so sorry I couldn't help you on that one. Are you planning on doing the elbow joints on the front of the cod piece to allow you to sit down? This is from Dexstroke. I don't know what you were talking about by elbow joints on the cod piece to sit down. I know with the Stormtrooper armor you can make it that you detach the abdomen plate from the cod piece, and you can put elastic or webbing behind it to make it pivot like an elbow piece, so you can sit down because the crotch piece comes up. With clone armor, no, you cannot do that, I'm afraid, because it sits like a diaper. So yeah, if you're gonna sit down, you have to kind of like shunf it up until you kind of like got it as high as you can sit down, and it is possible anyway. I know that with my fiberglass one it is, and I've seen people do it in the ABS plastic one. So no, I'm not doing it on my one. Okay, let's see, anything else? Dexter also wrote another one there, Dexter. A little tip from anyone that doesn't have or can't find earth magnets. I used electrical tape rather tightly on the midsection of the legs and forearms and before gluing, and it worked well. Great video. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I got some earth magnets. They didn't really work very well for me because it was fiberglass I was using, and fiberglass is a bit tougher than the ABS plastic and doesn't flex as much. So yeah, electrical tape works great. I find clamps. I bought some clamps at the dollar store. They're plastic but heavy springs in them. Padded the end so they don't scratch the fiberglass on me or any paintwork that I've done on it or any type of filling. And yeah, mark out my lines, glue, put it in position and clamp it down. I found that really well to do, but I have also used the electrical tape as well. Another tip that you've probably seen in my videos is that when I do the masking off with paint, I've used cling film or Salon Wrap to you guys in the States. I found that worked great for masking off large sections instead of trying to sit down with paper and moving it around. And I've also found with the Salon Wrap then, certain parts, if you put it down correctly, you don't even need to tape it. So yeah, you can play around with that. That's a good, cheaper alternative, I found, for masking off. Okay, I've got so many things here. Somebody else here was asking, this is a 0XX Dirgud, that's Dirgud. He was having problems finding the armor. Yeah, I said eBay. Just type in clone armor and you'll find it. If you put clone armor costumes, you get all the cosplay stuff, which is a cheap, really stupid suits. But just put in clone trooper armor. Yeah, you'll go through a lot of the toys, but you will find it. Even if sometimes you look under the stormtrooper armor, you'll sometimes find the clone trooper armor there put in there as well. So that's a good thing for doing the search on it. There's a guy here who says about this is Bluesby. He says that these things are on Amazon now for $700. Yeah, be careful about that guy. Clone armor on Amazon is by a guy who used to be called Star Fortress. He's changed his name many times. He's actually on the run from the police for other things. I'm not going to say what he was doing because it's not none of my business. But be careful of him. His quality of suits are not that great. I do know a guy who's in the same club as I am, who was stationed here in Japan. He ordered it from Star Fortress. It arrived. He built the suit, and literally on the first time he went out walking in, the thing fell apart. Now I can't say if that was because of the way the guy put the suit together, because I've never seen it, but I would say it was to do with the quality of the suit, because I heard rumors that the suits would crack and break very, very quickly. So yeah, be careful of him. His helmets look a bit decent, but for the full armor, no, I wouldn't go that. And there's some really good guys now on Facebook who are doing some of the helmets for about 150 euros or even dollars, and they are pretty decent. So check them out before this guy on Amazon, okay? Because it's just way overpriced for what he's doing. This is a Deckstroke again. What type of glue did you use, and what do you recommend on fiberglass? Listen, a lot of people are using the E6000 glue. I don't think it works very well in fiberglass. I've heard some people having problems with it. Go down to your local hardware store. Tell them you want to glue fiberglass. You want to bond fiberglass together. They usually have fiberglass bonding kits that you can get. I was lucky to pick up a Japanese product here. It's called Big Bond. Is the Japanese glue that I get here, and basically it sticks anything together. It's not 100% perfect, but it works pretty well. I've had no problems with my suit coming away. If I give it a bit of force and jam something in there, yeah, it will separate apart. But on its own, it's not really going anywhere. And by the time I've glued it, bonded it, and painted it, it's usually rock solid. So I've had no problems. But yeah, check out from the local hardware stores and just tell them what you want to use it for. Don't be shy. Far as they're concerned, you're not making a suit of armor. You might be fixing a boat or something. So do ask them. Okay, super glue. It does work, but again, in very cold temperatures, super glue will dry up and crack and come away from the fiberglass. So don't try that. I have heard people using silicone bond actually on fiberglass because that's what they do on boats, and it can be pretty good as well. So yeah, try out some of those little pieces. But yeah, what I meant to say is try out the glue that you buy and some of your offcuts that you've cut off and see how well they bond together before you actually stick your suit. That way you'll find out if it's going to stick or not. That's something I did. Okay. Wayne Walters, looks great. I picked up one of these Hasbro helmets on the weekend. Can you please explain how you added the bottom lip to the rim? Yeah, one of my videos I talk about my Hasbro helmet, and it's been amazed that a lot of people don't realize the Hasbro helmet that I've been wearing until they actually have a close look at it. The Hasbro helmets have had a bit of a bum rap by a lot of the groups because they say it's not to size. I don't know how they can say that since the original was a computer animated image and there's no sizes. Okay. They have talked about how some of the original makers of the helmets had the prints from Lucasfilms. Again, this was an animated system and I can't see them fitting into the real world that well. I've seen some of these helmets and they actually look way too small for the actual armor. People have problems getting their heads into them. For me, the Hasbro helmet is fine. It doesn't take much work to get it going. There's a lot of videos out there. I will be making my own video later in the year about altering one of these helmets. But yeah, this guy did pop over to my Facebook page and I was able to help him out more on how I did the inside lip. But I will be showing that in another video later in the year. Okay, so thanks for the actual message. Again, this is from Godwhopositive. Michael, I love your content, but how was the helmet made? Again, it was a Hasbro helmet made. Filled up the seams. That's really it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I'm going to leave it at that now. Hang on, we've got one more, okay. Seiju Yokujin. What's the name brand of the PVC plastic you used? I live in Japan and trying to make one up as well. Not sure what type of plastic I can buy in Japan. Thanks in advance. Okay, if you go back to some of my older videos to my original armor that I made it from what I was calling hobby plastic because it had no brand name on it. I've really found out recently that it's a polystyrene plastic. If you here in Japan, we have places called Kynes and Conan. They're type of a DIY stores. If you go there, you can buy it in different. You can buy it in different sizes and in different thicknesses. I think the thickest they do it is 5 millimeters thick, which is really thick, but you can't bend it that much unless you heat it up. It's really easy to use. And it's wonderful. It comes in different colors, but it's pretty expensive in the big sheets. But I've just found that recently in our kind of like dollar store or Daisos, you can actually buy it in A3 and A4 size as well. They don't come in white, but they come in every other color, and I've got some clear ones which I'm going to try using as well. But that's what I use for my original armor. I do know in the States, if you're trying to make armor of your own, pop into your hardware store and you want to look for billboard sheets, okay, the stuff that they print the billboards and the signs on. You can get them in different sizes, I believe, and that is pretty similar and pretty durable as well. As regards to the templates on how to make the actual armor, you got to check online, guys. There's quite a few people out there who have different patterns out there. There's another YouTuber who I did my original suit off. He does some brilliant prints, but I had problems printing them out, and some of his sizing were just for him, and it takes a while to get it for yourself, so I didn't finish using him all the time. You can go to the Phuket files, they're the paper files again that we talked about. They work as well because you're going to print it out and you can do your paper template and then work onto the card or plastic that you're going to make your suit out of. There's even 3D modeling files that you can get and then flatten out and use them as well. So do look around and find out from different forums. Some people have already done them and will let you have them, okay? So they are possible to get. Okay, the other shout out I'm going to give is to the group that I'm with. Okay, I've got a guy here. This is Wolverine Star. He's also a member of the Imperial Outlanders. Outlanders go, yeah! Okay, and he says, I have 2 of these and just started to make, and he's talking about the Hasbro Clone Trooper rifles. I did a video on putting the LED into the front of that one. I've even updated it since then, so I might have to make a re-video on how I did that. But yeah, those rifles are pretty cool to get. I've been stopped here in Japan quite a few times by other cosplayers or even Star Wars fans asking me where I got this gun from, because the guns were never released here in Japan, and so they're quite a novelty here. But it's great for kind of intermediate cosplay for anybody who's got even a Stormtrooper outfit. The rifle fits in pretty well. So check out that. It's called the DL19 Hasbro blaster. Okay, so yeah, do check out my video on that one. But yeah, if you're interested in doing any type of Star Wars cosplay and you're looking for a group to join that isn't too strict on what your costume is or where it's bought and have no high standards, because cosplay is for everybody, do check out the Imperial Outlanders. Okay, you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, even here on YouTube. Okay, and here's an advert for you guys.
I got cold, I should be clear.